Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
I think I did it again. Too much bliss. Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. It's call-in number, if you'd like to call us, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. And there's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com. That voice you hear in the background is none other than the famous Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Welcome, Rick.
Good morning. I'm going to need to disconnect and have him call me back, and then you need to turn the volume up. I can't even hear you using it as a normal phone. I don't know why.
What do you think, John?
So I can't, it doesn't hurt my arm, but I can't even hear you up to my ear.
Well, Rick, I'm
going to hang up and have your engineer call me right back, and we'll try a different way of coming in, okay?
Okay. So, John, can you take care of that, John? So we are in the process of reconnecting with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. And there are a couple things I'd like to talk about today with our resident physicist. One of them is compact fluorescent lights. The reason that this has come up is fluorescent lighting and compact fluorescent lighting are just about everywhere. So if you work in an office building, you can almost be certain if you look up, you're going to see fluorescent lighting. And the reason is it's able to produce more lumens per watt of electricity than incandescent lighting systems. And there's always been a concern. Excuse me? We have Rick? Okay, great. Rick, I was mentioning that one of the things that we'd be talking about today is compact fluorescent lighting. And the reason that companies, businesses, corporations use fluorescent lighting is you get more lumens per watt of electricity with fluorescent lighting. And there's always been a concern, at least I've always had a concern about the electromagnetic radiation that is emitted from them and the ballast that is used to drive those fluorescent lights. Do you have a thought on that?
Well, yeah, it's Kiva, K-E-V-A, Kiva or K-I-V-A. Kiva lighting has a more limited bandwidth. They're about twice as much as fluorescent. However, the fluorescent has long ultraviolet, which is extremely hard on the eyes. It's damaging the eyes. Over long periods of time, it'll damage your eyes. And what they're discovering now is that your work is related to the light that you're getting. And so a lot of businesses have found that when they replace fluorescent lighting with Kiva lighting, which is called, limited spectrum, what happens next is work production increases like 20% more work over an 8-hour period. And that's how important the lighting is in terms of efficiency of you functioning in artificial lighting situation. And now they're discovering that some of these, like the ballast part, puts off spikes of radiation that are extremely toxic to certain parts in the brain, also related to cell phones and why cell phones are so dangerous. And so you're like in a habitat that needs some kind of filtering to protect your body. This is where we're going with our technology. It has good things, bad things, and ugly.
And the main theme of today's broadcast classroom with Dr. Richard Allen Miller is dangerous technologies. And you're going to be surprised at some of the things that you're going to learn during this broadcast about dangerous technologies. Rick, many years ago, I was a computer consultant for several school districts in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I was very concerned about technologies that were unfolding. And the one that I was most concerned about was the wireless technology. One of the things that happened in school systems a couple decades ago is a person was appointed a technology director within a school district. So let's say you have a high school or an elementary school. One of the people there would be, I'm talking about public schools, one of the people there would be appointed as the technology person, the technology coordinator. And the technology coordinator was typically the librarian. And the reason that the librarian was appointed was because the librarian knew how to operate 35 millimeter film projectors and 16 millimeter film projectors, and was in charge of the checking out of record players into the classroom. So if a teacher needed to use a record player, well, they'd go to the librarian because she knew everything about record players and was able to make the film strips work and the 35 millimeter projectors. So naturally, as we got into the computer age and the personal computer age, the librarian was the most qualified in the school system to be in charge of that technology. Well, what also happened was some teachers seemed to think that they knew a lot about technology, and they'd want to push certain parts of technology for their own benefit. So, for example, you might have an English teacher who liked technology and would say, you know what, instead of writing with a pen and paper or a pencil and paper in an English class, we could type. We could type on a notebook computer because we don't have computers in our English classroom. And the way to do that is we'll have this cart. And we'll have a cart with notebook computers, let's say 30 notebook computers in this cart. There'll be chargers in the cart. There'll be a wireless access point. We'll have a wireless printer, and we'll have these notebooks. And in the beginning of the class, we'll pass out the notebooks, and each student will have on his or her desk a notebook computer, and they'll be able to type and follow along in class and print to the printer. And wouldn't that be great without wires? I resisted that technology, Rick, because I was concerned about the cumulative effect of all of those wireless transmitters in the classroom, 30 of them, plus the access points. And the classroom being a reflector of electromagnetic radiation, steel roof above the suspended ceiling, the glass windows in the classroom, and so forth. So I was concerned about that. And I considered that a dangerous technology, and I did not want to be part of it for any reason. And what I suggested was, why would we have these notebook computers on the class, passed around the class, as compared with just have the computers, tower computer with a screen hooked up to an Ethernet cable. And you wouldn't need to charge those computers because they're powered by AC current. So my solution was have permanent computers in the classroom, or bring the students to a laboratory that did not have wireless communication, that had wired communication with computers that were certified to specific electromagnetic radiation limits to protect the students and the teachers, because I felt that we would learn many years later that these technologies were dangerous and we were killing people slowly with cancer. Do you have any particular thoughts on that, Rick?
Well, yeah. If you use a tri-field meter that measures different bandwidths in your home, you will see where the hot spots are in your home, and your wireless router is possibly the single most dangerous unit in your home, way beyond that of a microwave, because a microwave is shielded. This one isn't. This whole thing is to radiate out as far as your parked car outside, which means that if you're up next to your router, you're getting maximal dose radiation. And the problem is, a lot of the frequency bands that they're working these things in have dosimetry. That means LD-50 ratio. At this level, 50% of the people are dead. And so that's what LD-50 means. And it's a creepy form of technology that even I, going from upstairs to downstairs, will now run wires because it's that bad. If you run wires where it's a closed system and it's only transmitting information along wires, now at least your home part is semi-shielded. Beyond that, of course, snoops and other kinds of people can see what you see and see what you're writing, and it's you can look on your own computer if you're wireless to see what else is radiating from your neighbor. You may not be able to get into his system because it's algorithmed or requires a password to get into a certain lock of bandwidth. But I have to tell you, the whole thing's nuts. And today, now, just, okay, here, let me give you an example of some technology that's happening right now. And this was written up in ARC that just came out talking about people that are threatening you. You get a phone call and you answer the phone and there's nobody there. What has happened is that is a supercomputer that is trying to find out if this number is a valid number. And what happens next is that a thing is left in your telephone that allows it to go into your computer and turn your camera on when your computer is off. Now, this is brand new technology that's happening everywhere. And so all these phone calls that you're getting where there's no lines on the other end, it's like it's a dead line. Most likely, it's a snooper coming in, and that's what I call them, snoopers. And they come in and lock into your computer, and even when your computer is in dormant mode or even off, they can turn the camera on. It's really creepy technology that's happening now. And people don't have a clue. They just assume it, just like they did your cash box at the bank. Watch how that starts to work shortly when you want to try to get some money out, and they are no longer doing bailouts, they're doing bail-ins. I don't know where we're going with all of this, except that computer is not your friend.
Yeah. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
911, what is your emergency?
There's somebody in my house. Hurry, please.
A home break-in happens every 22 seconds. Homes without a security system are up to 3 times more vulnerable to a burglary. That's why there's Simply Safe. In an emergency, our advanced wireless technology alerts police up to 10 times faster, and your connection to emergency services can't be cut because Simply Safe doesn't rely on landlines. Simply Safe costs less than half what traditional companies charge, just $14.99 a month, and there's no commitment to an annual contract. Protect your family with the highest caliber security. Go now to simplysafedefense.com and get 10% off with free shipping and a 3-year warranty. Hurry, and you'll also receive a keychain remote worth $25. Try Simply Safe for a full 60 days. You'll feel confident that your family is safe or your money back. Go to simplysafedefense.com right now. simplysafedefense.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and, we're talking about dangerous technologies. Rick, dogs can hear frequencies that are above the human hearing range. We humans can hear roughly, and I was taught in school, 20 cycles per second or 20 hertz. I like cycles per second because that's the old term, and that's the way I learned it. But 20 cycles per second, all the way to about 20,000. Some people might say 31 cycles per second to 19,000. Well, televisions that had flyback transformers for the picture tubes would emit a high-pitched frequency, and some people would say, "Well, I can hear that TV, in the next room. I can't hear the sound of the speaker, but I can hear that high-pitched whine," and that was typically the whine of the flyback transformer. And so, as we get older, we lose our ability to hear the higher and higher frequencies. So maybe as we get into our 60s or 50s, we can only hear up to maybe 14,000 cycles per second. Well, that flyback transformer has a frequency of just under 16,000 cycles per second. But dogs can hear that. Dogs can hear from 64 cycles per second to about 44,000. It must drive them absolutely crazy to have a TV with a CRT tube running in the background. It must drive them crazy. And I have a feeling that we are seeing behavior in our animals because they can't stand some of the sounds that are surrounding them. Like the dolphins in the ocean are being hit with these sonar pings. And, we wonder, why are these dolphins beaching? Why are they coming out of the water? Why are the whales beaching? Why is this happening? And I have a feeling it's these detonations that were exploding in the oceans, our military doing damage to our oceans, and the sonar pings and so forth. What do you think, Rick?
I think that there's a lot of things that we're doing that are so invasive to our environment that we will never even ever know how bad we are damaging our universe around us. It's like litter and a way of being, and extremely wasteful if you think in terms of the amount of power required to boost those cell phone towers. Do you realize that it's like the towers are now surrounding all small towns? When I was visiting you could do the line of sight where they had the microwave tower going right down like picket fences going down the street. I mean, it was creepy. And to realize that the amount of wattage that those things are generating, and that what frequency bands that are literally toxic, have dosimetry, absorption coefficient in your body that absorb that and then cause biological changes because of the energy exciting certain kinds of nucleotides in your body. It's terrible. The technology is wrong. Electrical current is like nuclear energy. Both of them are extremely dangerous and fragile. And one of the things Matt Stein and I are doing is, grid down situations where, like last night, I just sent you a friend of mine. He was from JPL. He's now in hiding and is sending me these things of radiation that came off the sun yesterday. We had one of the biggest bursts in history and absolutely highest energy ever recorded. And it's hitting us right now. I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why I'm having some telephone difficulties with you right now. Your voice is very low, your voice is garbled, and I'm guessing that's happening to half your listening audience right now.
Wow.
That's
a problem.
Burst from the sun. Now, what is causing the sun to burst? Well, you see what I just posted on Facebook. There is a 2.5-hour explanation of Planet 7X Nibiru Wormwood Biblical that is very well done, explaining what it is not, and what we don't know about it. It's a good general upgrade without having to read. It's a movie running it down on what 7X is. And I have to tell you, there's something happening that's causing all these earthquakes and volcanoes to be going off right now. And my guess is we have something that's coming in off elliptic into our solar system right now. And Soho and the others have already reported some 2 new planets out past Pluto, past the Oort cloud, that are part of our solar system. And
so you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Doc Ram is with us, Dr. Richard Allen Miller. If you'd like to go to his website, docram.com, DOCRAM.com. Ram as in Richard Allen Miller, docram.com. Or you can go to richardallenmiller.com, Richard A-L-A-N Miller.com. Rick, we've got John in Austin, Texas. Welcome, John.
Hey, gentlemen. You hear me okay?
I hear you.
Yep,
Both of your voices are muffled. And Grace and I are huddled here trying to hear what you're saying. and Vincent, and it's garbled, like a lot of static and stuff like that in the
Well, John, our engineer will turn up your volume to the max.
All right, here.
Okay. All right. So you've got, so our engineer said that he's got you turned up to the max. Maybe we should back it down a little bit. Engineer John, would you please adjust that to what you think would be the best setting for now?
Your voice just got clearer. It went down in volume, but your voice got clearer.
Right, John, just
you now. It's less static.
Great. Okay. John in Austin, Texas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You were talking a few minutes ago about the military using the sonic sonar ping and how it might be upsetting the marine mammals. One thing, and I've heard no one talk about it, is the oil industry, because when they go out and shoot seismic surveys, the ping that they hammer underwater when they shoot their seismic testing, I mean, I've been underwater maybe several miles away and could hear quite noticeably the seismic shoot go off. And we had a real interesting experience one time diving while they were shooting the Houston Ship Channel, and had got swarmed by a school of fish, big fish, and kind of caused a momentary pucker factor of about 10. So all of a sudden being a living body of swarming fish, but it was just a real unusual situation, and we were making
John,
our own.
Are you saying that this swarm of fish was headed your way because it was swimming away from the origin of this ping?
Yeah, they were definitely moving in a direction from the guys. They were on the surface. The guy saw the school on the surface, and they were moving away from the area where the seismic testing was going on. And we were underwater. We were hammering a steel rod in the bottom. So we were making our own more low frequency ping, if you will, hammering that steel rod. And once they got over us, they came straight down on it and swarmed us for a few moments and then swam off. And it was quite an unusual experience. But what I'm saying is, like, when they are seismic testing, you won't see any dolphins or anything in the area. And that's there's usually a lot of dolphins in the channel over there because they like to ride the bow waves of the big tankers. And there's a lot of fish and stuff coming in and out. So it's a sort of a natural area for them. And
the hearing, I'm looking at a chart with the hearing range for animals. And chickens are pretty much on the low end. Chickens can hear from 125 cycles per second to 2,000. Okay, but the top end of the spectrum, the beluga whale, 1,000 cycles per second to 123,000 cycles per second. The bottlenose dolphin, 150 cycles per second to 150,000 cycles per second, and the porpoise, 75 cycles per second to 150,000. So the top end of the hearing spectrum is dominated by the beluga whale, the bottlenose dolphin, and the porpoise. So, we make these noises and we think, well, if we can't hear them, it's okay, but it's not okay. It's really not okay. And I think we are poor stewards of the planet. We humans are poor stewards of the planet. What do you think?
I'm not going to disagree with you. I mean, the noise pollution underwater, people don't think of it. If you dive down on a reef, you would think it would be a very quiet environment. But it's not. You hear all this clicking and noise of fish eating coral and whatever, going on. And there's a lot of noise. Okay, believe it or not. And like the whales, for example, if you dive off Lahaina, Lahaina Channel, you can hear the whales, the humpback whales from 15, 20 miles away underwater.
Yeah, they did a Star Trek movie about, the importance of the whale as a more advanced being on Earth, as a steward in the ocean. And their brain caves would suggest that something else is going on here, the physical size of it. I'm completely unimpressed with our directions in physics and technology. And right now, fracking is another major problem. Nobody, by the way, has even bothered to mention what's going on in California right now. as possibly the worst natural disaster since the BP oil spill with that gas leak in L.A. And people are getting sick now. And we are in all arenas of frequency bands with gases being being released, noises being created from fracking. The idea of there was, did anybody catch that media thing about what appeared to be a nuclear blast out past the moon 2 days ago? It was about 10 megahertz. 10 megaton. It was out past the moon. There was an explosion out there. Nobody has talked about that. It was recorded by JPL and NASA. What was that? There's things going on around us right now that I don't even have a clue what's... I do believe we are literally at the end of times. Even the Catholic Church is now coming out with the new Fatima third prophecy about millions of people dying in minutes along the California shoreline. What does that mean? That's why the church didn't release it when it was supposed to be released after 20. She had some sort of regulation on when she wanted her third prophecy, and the church decided not to tell men about it. And yet, our Soho and other things run by the Catholic Church are out there looking at the heavens at something coming in to our solar system. And NASA, 2 weeks ago, just announced the discovery of 2 more planets out past Pluto, one of which is 5.5 times the size of Earth and much, much more massive. And the weird part was NASA said something to the effect that it had an IR signature discrepancy that they could not explain. And the only physics I know that would do that kind of an IR change is a Dyson sphere around a brown dwarf. That is the physics of what I'm understanding now is what's going on. And biblical, talk about wormwood. I have posted on the docram.com that with several other very interesting stories that will give you a summary of what we now believe is Nibiru. I don't know what's causing all the earthquakes and the anomalies in our sun, but something massive is coming into our solar system that is affecting all of the planets, including Earth. We know that the CMEs coming off the sun right now will affect earthquakes and volcanoes. Vanuatu and several other major recent days, one island had 3 different volcanoes go off at one moment. What's that all mean?
Rick, you were mentioning this gas leak in California, and there's a post on the internet as of yesterday, and it's bbc.com, and it says the governor of California has declared a state of emergency in a suburb of Los Angeles over a leaking methane gas.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, yes.
Yeah, from an underground storage field. So
you want to hear the bad news? There was that fire that was associated with it, and there was an explosion, and 2 barrels, 55-gallon drums, were shot up into the air and landed. And guess what they contained? Nuclear waste material, and there was no record of where it came from. They're burying nuclear waste in different parts of the United States and are not informing the public, and there was a fire, and 2 of those barrels blew up, went up into the air, about 80, 100 feet up into the air, and then fell down as radioactive waste, leaking barrels. We have some serious problems going on here.
Sounds like a similar... We have a similar problem.
I didn't mean to make you guys speechless. I'm just very concerned. And nobody is telling the public the rights on the whole thing. And meanwhile, I have pictures of Hillary Clinton making weird faces and Donald Trump. Do you know the amount of email that I'm getting to try to promote his candidacy? It's crazy. I'm depressed.
John, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, just a quick one. Doctor, I sympathize and feel for what you're saying. I wish we could redirect our science from trying to kill people into trying to save our planet. And if we took all the money that we spend on creating weapons and put it into positive science, I think we would be a lot better off as a society.
Yeah, but why would we want to do that when war is good for business?
We're going into a break. USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
As your body ages, there's a 10% decline in your ability to repair each passing decade after the age 28. By age 40, your ability to repair from demanding manual labor, exercise, or a stressful desk job has declined by 12%. By using One World Whey, you supercharge your body's ability to repair and eliminate inflammation. Our unique frequency-encoded whey protein, coupled with our high-quality whey, improves your cell's ability to make protein, which is to say, repair itself.
My name is Jonathan Wright, and I'm 40 years old. I recently went from a desk job to a manual labor job. Normally, I'm worn out. With energy-enhanced One World Whey, I now recover so quickly that I can perform very hard work all day long. I use energy-enhanced One World Whey for breakfast and lunch, and I experience less hunger throughout the day. I have a 30% increase in energy, and I just feel better. I plan to make energy-enhanced One World Whey a permanent part of my lifestyle.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models, or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. And Rick, you had mentioned this gas leak in California. And so the governor of California Jerry Brown, has ordered all necessary and viable actions to be taken to stop this gas leak. And more than 2,000 families have been moved from their homes, and many people have reported feeling ill because of this gas leakage. And there is this underground storage facility in a place called Porter Ranch, Porter Ranch, on the outskirts of Los Angeles. And it seems that this vast underground storage facility is spewing into the atmosphere methane gas. Now,
yeah, do you realize what that's doing to global warming? The amount.
Sure.
They did a study on how much is being released as to how it's affecting our weather. It's crazy.
Yes. And so here's the California Air Board is concerned about how much of this gas is being released. And now, why is this happening? Well, first of all, according to CBS News, about 2,200 families have been relocated, although 6,500 families have applied for help. I guess if you have a house and you're paying your mortgage and you're just barely surviving, and all of a sudden your neighborhood becomes toxic, that is a financial hardship beyond belief. Because what do? No one wants to buy your house. So how do you sell it? You probably have a job and that's why you live in that house in the first place. So you can't move. You're stuck there, and there's a disaster. And is it a natural disaster? Well, it's a natural gas. Methane's a natural gas, but it's a man-made disaster. And why is that? Because according to what I've read, Rick, what we do, not we, but what some people do, like the Southern California Gas Company, SoCal Gas, S-O-C-A-L Gas. Decades ago, they acquired, I don't know if they purchased it or how they acquired it, but they acquired decades ago this underground facility. And it was a former oil field. So you pump the oil out, and now you have this big hole in the ground, hole underground. And so what do you do with this hole? Well, what they've decided to do is pump natural gas in there. So they create this hole by pumping out the oil. Now in that void that we have created, they pump in natural gas. Well, it's leaking. It's a vast oil field that's leaking the gas that they pumped in. So we did it. We pumped it in it, and now it's leaking. Just like what happened in Missouri with radioactive waste from the Manhattan Project, right outside of St. Louis. So you have a big city of St. Louis, which has a radioactive dump right next to a trash dump. The trash dump is on fire underground, and it's headed toward the radioactive waste dump. And we're just learning about this. And how far is it? Well, it's about the fire underground that they can't put out at this trash dump just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, is on fire about 900 feet from the radioactive waste dump. And what was that radioactive waste dump? Well, it was sold to the people around that area that it's just clean fill, but it happened to be radioactive fill. There's nothing clean about radioactive fill. So Rick, here's my thought. We need to have a bill become law in every state and every commonwealth of the United States. And that bill is very simple. It's one sentence. No trash, no toxic waste, no hazardous waste shall cross state lines, commonwealth lines, or District of Columbia lines. So if you want to have a nuclear reactor in your state, you get to keep the hazardous waste in your state. You're not going to send it to New Mexico. you're going to keep it in your state. And if you want to have overpackaged products, the trash stays in your state. It doesn't get dumped here in Missouri. Waste from Canada doesn't come here either. Waste from Chicago doesn't end up in our county in Missouri. It stops. And we will bury Washington in trash. Actually, they're going to bury themselves in trash. Washington, D.C. That would stop a lot of our problems. Just that one sentence bill becoming law. Dr. Richard Allen Miller and I will come back right after these few short commercial announcements and top of the hour news. And we're going to talk about making money quickly and how it's done and some dangerous things. Many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food. Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Rick, during hour number 1, we were talking about this SoCal gas leak, Southern California gas leak, a man-made gas leak where methane gas was pumped into an underground void that was left by the extraction of oil from an oil well. And now they're thinking that, well, what we can do is we can drill 2 new wells, relief wells, and pump the methane gas from the one that's leaking into these 2 new ones. Okay, so now we take one problem and we make it 3 problems. I don't know what the answer is, but we caused this. We caused this, and this wouldn't have happened if we didn't punch those holes in the ground and leave these voids. And you've got to ask yourself, okay, we're pulling all of this oil out of the ground. And when we pull it out, what's left? A big hole. Rick, I can tell you that, and you have been in this exact spot with me, if you drive out of our driveway, About halfway out of the driveway, we have a stone driveway. It's white limestone. It's crushed white limestone that's been excavated out of a quarry and crushed. And that crushed rock becomes lime that's applied on fields. It goes in gardens. It becomes this white rock that is used for driveways and farm roads and things like that. Well, in our driveway, when it rains, there's a low point, a little dip that kind of floods with water, maybe an inch or two deep. Rick, I can see bubbles of air coming out of there. That means that the water that is leaking into the ground is displacing the air that was trapped in there, and the air is bubbling out. And I can see that. I can see that. So there are holes in the ground that are filling up with water. And we leave these holes in the ground when we pump out natural gas, we pump out oil, and so forth. And you would think that would cause a structural problem, and that's part of the reason why we have these earthquakes and movements of the ground, wouldn't you think?
Well, yeah, and sinkholes and all of it that you're seeing happening all around the Gulf of Mexico. It's crazy technology that needs to be rethought. And basically, the way Dennis Kucinich said it is that there's such a discrepancy between federal laws and state laws that I'm going to guess in the next 5 years, the United States is going to fragment into 9 different provinces, just like Canada did. I think we're going to see that happen where there are groups of states that have discrepancies with the federal government. Out here, it's, and I've talked about this before, it's about marijuana and legalization and all of that. In your area, it's about corn subsidies. And it's getting to the point where it's quite obvious that our Congress is not representing the common and popular vote. And that's why I'm going to say, no matter what happens, Hillary will probably be our president. It's scary to realize that Jimmy Carter was in ARP saying, Washington, D.C. is for sale. And we don't get it when there are pharmaceutical houses whose gross national product is 40 times that of America. And that you go down on the list, and individual companies, way down on the list, 40th down, whatever, are actual 4 times budgets of a given state like Oregon. Oregon's budget is 1/4 that of Johnson & Johnson wax, which is 40th down on pharmaceutical houses, in terms of gross incomes. I am despaired. We are being sought and bold. Listen, the thing that's happening over in Burns, right down the street from me, is Oath Keepers have been infiltrated. This is not about some 2 guys that were terrorists and are now having to go back to prison after having done. One guy, the son did a year, and the father, who's 72, my age, had done, I think it was like 6 months, and now he's going to have to go back for another 4 years of prison because of setting fire to eradicate weeds. The actual bow hunting and poaching that they're suggesting is not a terrorist act. The whole thing is being wrongly advertised, and it's really about BLM, Bureau of Land Management, working with China on our national debt, giving away our natural resources. That is all it's about.
And we stole our natural resources from the Indians.
Well, here we are. I don't think, your government is supposed to represent you, and I don't believe that our government has ever kept any treaty correctly.
I have to agree with you.
Going over to Europe as the ugly American.
We are ugly Americans. There's no question about it, Rick. We are dangerous. We are predators.
Wondering what happened, and you can use a good word. It's called complacency. You can't necessarily go take your arms, go take your arms and things like that. But let me tell you, the first thing Grace Thorne did when she came out to visit me was give me a knockoff Glock. Here's something for you. She gave me a weapon. And let me say, it's crazy out here. Everybody is wearing their pistols out as a show of what we think about our federal government. This is Oregon.
It's like coming to my house, right?
What's that?
It's like coming to my house.
Yeah, like coming to your house. And I love Sandy and the way she does it, man. Well,
hey, Rick.
Here we are.
Rick.
I don't know what the answer is.
All right, let's talk about this.
Is a false flag, and really, again, about BLM trying to give 50% of our state now belongs to China. Our timber. You know, the unloggable. I don't have answers. What I'm going to do is lock my own gate down.
Rick, there are. This is kind of disturbing to me. And there's a post on CNN Money that says driver's licenses from these states may not work on domestic flights. And this is just one post, but now it's driver's licenses from these 5 states will not work to board domestic flights. They are Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, New Mexico, and Washington. So if you have a driver's license from Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, as I do, New Mexico, or Washington State, you cannot fly because we are not compliant with the federal government, our states. Now, I have a very simple answer to this. Okay, so if Washington says we can't fly a commercial airline because they don't like the way we issue our driver's licenses in those 5 states, it's a very simple solution to this. Our state legislatures in those 5 states need to pass a bill that has language something like this. No commercial airplane may land in our state originating from any state other than Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, New Mexico, or Washington state. If a flight originates from any of those other states, you may not land in Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, New Mexico, or Washington because it seems that our driver's license is not acceptable identification to the federal government. So, all right, no problem. You can't land here. And you can't bring your trash here either, because that's another bill that I'm proposing to become law. No transfer of trash or hazardous waste shall cross state.
That's what happened to Washington and Oregon is that we have high deserts in eastern Washington and eastern Oregon, down near Burns and up near Hanford. And so that's where the world's population started dumping radioactive waste that's now leaking. All your cleanup, garbage disposal, including nuclear waste, is run by mafia. And when I say mafia, each country, like Germany for 20 years took the nuclear waste of Europe and put it in Africa. And that's why Africa right now has the kinds of diseases and problems they do. It's because of the nuclear waste dumps in African countries from Europe. And Fukushima, right now, TEPCO has already announced, you wanted an update? Here we go. TEPCO has announced they have no way to stop this thing. It is now an international problem. And you'll please note, nobody's talking about cleaning it up.
We can't, Rick, we can't clean it up because my understanding from you and Matt Stein is that the radioactivity levels are so high that we can't shield the electronics that we would use in robots to clean it up sufficiently.
That's one problem. That's just one minor problem. The robotic systems, they're dead. They melt down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and where would
now about a possible extinction event? Certainly, Japan is dead. The thyroid anomalies throughout that country right now are so far above normal that there's no question we have a problem. And guess what? Every single other plant that was made by General Electric, the Daiichi Form model, are all now leaking, including the ones in Missouri on the Madrid fault line. And so here we are. We haven't even begun to have the problems. There will be hotspots where you're not able to ever visit that part of the United States for 200,000 years. It will go like that.
And what's it based on? I believe that all of this is based on the collective amount of individual greed, the sum of individual greed. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller is with us, docram.com, docram.com, to get to his website. Or you can also go to richardallenmiller.com, richardalanmiller.com, where you can peruse and buy his books. Rick, I'm looking at a post from National Geographic. And it says ancient, and I posted this on our website during the break, ancient mass extinctions caused by cosmic radiation, scientists say. So we've had a lot of mass extinctions, and it's believed, the theory is that cosmic radiation has caused a lot of them. And so why not supplement cosmic radiation with our own man-made radiation and kill ourselves? It seems like that's what we've done. And I believe, and the term I've used is the sum of individual greed. And I really believe that so many people, like in Wall Street and politicians, are so greedy they are willing to kill people for their own pleasures. They're willing to neglect their wives and children, their spouses, for their own pleasures and individual greed. It's an absolute outrage. These people are defective and sick. And those people involved in the nuclear industry, in the business of nuclear power generation, and building these plants, designing these plants, working on these plants, they're defective. They absolutely are defective. And how can they not know what they're doing? To build a system that has no safe way of disposing of the byproduct, except maybe, there's no safe way. And some people, when I was very young in elementary school, thought, okay, let's put that stuff on a rocket and just send it out. So let's say that worked. Let's say we had a rocket and we blasted this radioactivity, which would be very, very heavy. We blasted it out in outer space. Who do we think we are, not only trashing our own planet, but outer space? We are sick.
You talked about National Geographic. Grace just gave me one called Are We Alone? And Other Mysteries of Space. You know, there's something way, way more going on. I have no idea what that 10 megaton explosion was out past the moon. Something else is going on. I don't know anything about aliens or breakaway civilizations, but I can tell you there is something else going on here, and I'm not getting it yet.
Rick, you
and
had...
if I can't get it, good gosh. I mean, that's what I used to do, is connect dots where I could look and see. You know, one of the things Grace said to me was, you have never discussed on your program government subsidies.
Okay.
Now, isn't that interesting about Missouri?
Sure. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to talk about that now, or is that something we should
go there? I'd like to know your opinion on some of that stuff because you're in the center of it.
Here's what I can tell you about governments. I can tell you how government contracts work. And let me give you an example. When I had our computer company in the Commonwealth of Virginia, I used to bid large computer contracts, networks, and so forth against anyone who was willing to bid. And these were allegedly sealed bids. And our company never lost a bid. Never. We had a record of never, ever losing a bid. And the reason we never lost a bid was because our profit margin was so slow. I'm talking 3 to 4%. All of our competitors absolutely, positively despised us. And they would come in with 30, 40, 50% profit margin, and we would eat their lunch. And here's what I learned. Their tactic was very, very simple. After they saw how we would just beat them, they would just try to lower their bids to obtain the bid, and then have these add-ons later outside the bid. That would cause them to make the profit back.
Yeah, the penalties that they would incur were less than by doing a false bid. That's correct.
And so there are irregularities in this bidding process that I've seen. And then they do things like this. When a company wins a bid, let's say, we'll use Dell, for example. And I hope they're listening. So if you buy if you're a government, and they're buying almost exclusively Dell computers, if you buy one and you want a new power supply, where are you going to get it? You can't get it on the open market easily. You're going to have to get it from Dell. So a power supply that might cost $20 might cost $150 or $200 from Dell. And you're locked in. And that's what we exposed, and that's what we prevented our customers from having to do. And we were hated for it.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Chronic inflammation is now known to block your ability to repair and compromises your immune system, making you more vulnerable to all diseases. Since poor diet, injuries, or stress are all contributing factors, many people suffer from inflammation. Your body's number one means of neutralizing inflammation and the pain that it may be causing is glutathione. Glutathione is the body's number one peptide to neutralize free radicals and thus stop inflammation.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm 44 years old. For 10 years, I had been suffering from chronic pain in my abdomen and groin that radiated down into my feet. After 3 weeks on One World Way, the pain in my feet reduced by 50%, and the overall pain in my body reduced significantly as well. I ran out of One World Way, and the pain returned. I got another container, and again, after 3 weeks, the pain reduced significantly throughout my body. I'd highly recommend One World Way to anyone dealing with chronic pain due to inflammation.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Ossick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Why be held hostage by your wireless carrier for 2 years? What if you had no contract, no activation fees, no hidden costs, tracking, tracing, harvesting customer data, or draconian gimmicks, all on the nation's best 4G LTE network? Introducing Pix Wireless. Bring your phone and other qualifying devices to Pix and to choose a plan starting at only $14 a month. Get connected now. Call or click 1-866-267-2056 or pixwireless.com. Spelled P-I-X, wireless.com. Pick Pix and get connected today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Rick, it's going to take me about 2 minutes to describe what I'm about to describe, and we've been talking about dangerous technologies. And I will lead into these dangerous technologies, and here it is. There are several ways to make money quickly. One way is to inherit it, but someone has to die for that to happen. Another way is to win a lottery, but you have to play to make that happen, and the odds are absolutely positively against winning the lottery. The government siphons off most of the funds. You can become a drug dealer, but that's pretty risky, and it's fraught with prison and jail penalties. You can print it, but that's counterfeiting, unless the government does it, and that's against the law as well. Or you can set up or be involved in a financial Ponzi scheme or financial scheme, and many people have, and Bernie Madoff is one, and Sheriff Joey Kyle has allegedly been involved in a financial scheme. Or you can start a company and sell stock, and you can dupe the public. Let me say that again. You can start a company, a corporation, and sell stock and dupe the public. Now, how does that impact, or how does that relate to dangerous technology? There's a company, and you can Google this, and the name of the company is called Energus, or Energus, Energous Corporation. I'm going to read what Google.com Financial says about these guys. Energus Corporation is a development stage company. The company is developing a technology that can enable wire-free charging for electronic devices that provides power at a distance with mobility under software control. The company offers Watt-Up, W-A-T-T-U-P, technology solution, which consists of a transmitter and a receiver application-specific integrated circuits and antenna designs driven through algorithms and software applications. The wire-free charging solution employs three-dimensional packet forming via a transmitter that creates a targeted radio frequency, an RF pocket, in a room around a receiving device, which may be mobile or fixed. The company's technology can be utilized in a range of devices, including smartphones, tablets, e-book readers, wearables, keyboards, mice, remote controls, rechargeable lights, cylindrical batteries. That's what it says. Now, here's what that means. These guys are claiming that they have a technology that will wirelessly charge your phone, for example. But it will be charged with a directional antenna system. They will be allegedly sending radio frequencies through the air aimed at your device. So you've got your phone and you're talking on your phone, you've got it up to your ear, and you're already blasting yourself with microwave signals. Now, to add insult to injury, you can also charge your phone while you're talking on it without that nasty little cord to charge it by having this device from Energus Corporation. And this device will concentrate a focused pattern of radio frequency toward your device, which really means if you're talking on it or wearing it, toward you. So not only are you getting the electromagnetic radiation in the microwave band from your cell phone, you're getting it through the charging technology, which is way, way, way more dangerous than the cell phone itself.
What I find most interesting is that the frequency band that they're using is in the same bandwidth as synthetic telepathy, HARP, and the rest of it. Of all the different bandwidths that we could be working with, why in that specific bandwidth? Now, I don't have an answer. However, I remember the scientist from Motorola that had invented that chip and chose that 0.3 to 3 gigahertz bandwidth for, the satellites because, quote, he said, there are too many people in the world. And then they had a picture of Japan and the way their romance is with cell phones. And you will please note that Japan and everybody over there now is ill. There's an recent article I sent you that, all the children have thyroid anomalies today. That's what you have to look forward to with our current direction of technology.
Rick, let's take it to the next step. So we go back to that librarian in the public school district who has now become the technology coordinator. And the librarian says, you know what? I can't stand all these little charging stations for all these computers that we have. So let's get this new device from Energous Corporation. And what we'll do is we'll hook these up in each classroom. So, all the students have cell phones anyway. So, because their parents want them to be safe. So we have all of these cell phones and we have all of these computers, and those power cords and Ethernet cables are really dangerous. The students can trip and fall and hurt themselves. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hook up this wireless charging station. We'll have it in every classroom. We'll have it in the hallway because, you might be low on your battery as you walk from class to class. So we'll put them in the hallway, and now we'll have universal charging everywhere. Now imagine that. Well, and don't forget the cafeteria, and don't forget the basketball court inside.
The toilet.
We'll have in there too. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you might be on there.
Have it in the restaurants.
Right. So now we have them everywhere. Through this little ridiculous model I'm talking about. This is where we could be going, and we could be, we could be irradiating and killing our children slowly through all of this electromagnetic radiation. And mom and dad, don't worry, you're not left out either, because the technology people at where you work are thinking about the same thing. These cords are so dangerous. The insurance company is saying, boy, we have to charge you extra because somebody might trip on these Ethernet cables. So let's use wireless.
Jay Leno put it, don't worry, we'll make more.
Yeah. This is absolute insanity. Now, getting back to making money, so how easy is it for a company to claim that they can do something, to make a product that they know the FCC is going to shut them down? And how would they not know that? Because they're in that spectrum, that frequency, which is used for information communication, not charging energy going through the air. Okay, so they know this, or I'm thinking that they know this. And so these people are buying stock, and they could say, well, you know what? Your investment is now worthless because, well, it's not us. We would have done it, but the FCC shut us down. What a great way to make money. What a great way.
It's all about getting some, and get some. And it's not about sex. It's crazy.
Rick,
when
I know.
Said before, that button that you have with Ford Motor Company logo next to a swastika. War is good for business. That's all it's about.
I have that lapel pin. I absolutely do, with the Ford logo and the Nazi swastika.
Yeah, imagine one with Goodyear next to it. That ought to give you the big picture.
Rick, I know for a fact, absolute firsthand experience, that people will throw money at the next big thing. And back in 1980, I and another guy, just before April 1st, 1980, we were sitting around in the conference room of our corporation, and we were just having some fun, and we thought, well, let's release a press release that's totally bogus, absolute fiction. And we did. And we sent it to Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Ebony Magazine. We sent it everywhere in physical form through the U.S. mail. It was a joke. It was a joke. And people thought that we invented the next best thing, and they wanted to buy stock in our company. And it was a huge problem for me.
My girlfriend made an interesting observation the other day when she said the people up in Oregon are different than the people in Southern California in their values of what is important. Now, what she's got up here today is green trees, and she's able to see wildlife in our yard. Last night or a couple nights ago, the motion sensor lights went on, and she went to look at the window to see why, and there was a deer. And imagine her seeing that kind of phenomena in L.A. It's a different way of living, and that's why Los Angeles has got more work, and she's now can't find work up here, and it's about money, how much she's going to make in terms of per hour wage, and why. I say to her, would you want to live in L.A. because you could make better money? What's that going to do for you? It's only going to cost you more to live there, and your life expectancy is dropped. So it's a misleading value system that has permeated everything and has now reached the cream of our crop, the one percenters. They're into this money thing, and right now there are too many people on Earth to manage it correctly in terms of revolt. That's why everybody's afraid about the bunkers and all the rest of it, is because they can't control this many masses. And
Rick,
so there will be blood.
Yes, and I just want to make I just want to make it clear, we did not release any stock based on this joke that we sent out that people thought we invented the equivalent of anti-gravity. Mike in Tennessee, you're on with Dr. Richard Allen Miller and me. Welcome. Mike in Tennessee?
Good morning, gentlemen. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can.
It helps when you hit the mute button. Sorry about that, guys. Earlier you were talking about the problems with U.S. citizens traveling. Okay, Native Americans don't have those problems because of a little thing called the Jay Act from the 1700s, J-A-Y-A-C-T. You can Google search it. It recognizes the right of your Native Americans, quote, Indians, to travel freely anywhere at any time, whether it be on land or the water or the air or teleportation or you name it. And I have friends that are Native Americans who travel internationally. They do not have passports. They do not go through body scanners. They do not get assaulted. And those that are true sovereign Native Americans, not like your Cherokee Nation, who are what they call semi-sovereign, which is like being partially pregnant.
Mike, hold that thought. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the hosts you're listening to right now online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and his website, docram.com, docram.com. Mike Parsons in Tennessee is with us. Mike, we've got about a minute and a half, then we've got Laura in California. Mike, please continue.
I just wanted to briefly mention to people that the United States government is a corporation. It's not your government. It's a private corporation. And as you know, today is January the 7th, and where am I supposed to be right now? Standing trial. But I'm not. I've just got done feeding the horses, and I'm talking to you. Why? Because on the 22nd of December, I conferred that the court didn't have jurisdiction because I had not given them consent. Without me giving them consent to proceed, they're stuck. And once you learn how to do this, they can't proceed, they can't railroad you back into prison. So these are the things that we need to at some point bring out so that everybody can exercise their right to be left alone by this corrupt corporate government.
That's
Mike, is that something?
It's the posse comitatus and what Ed Marvini is suggesting.
It has nothing to do with... Go ahead.
Mike, is that something that you would like to discuss on a broadcast?
Sure, more than happy to.
Okay. Mike, I'll contact you after, within the next day or so, and we'll set up a time, put you on the schedule, and let's do it.
Very good.
Great. Hey, thank you so much for calling, Mike.
Have a great day, guys.
That's Mike Parsons in Tennessee, USAPrepares.com instructor. Laura in California, welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, Laura. And
I would have called in earlier, but I had all these vials that I needed to fill with paper and water, and it was the list kept longer and longer. And so I was real busy with that. And I think if we all do that, we're going to have all this great energy and extra economic flow around us. And with that, we can all go get our iron Edison batteries so that we can not have to worry about our freezers going down. So,
Laura, Iron Edison will be on Tuesday with us. Brandon Williams has confirmed Tuesday is the date that we're going to be discussing specifically battery and battery technology for alternative energy. That's Tuesday's broadcast with ironedison.com. We're running short on time, so you've got all of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to give an update. I think the way we left it last with my son's case. This is the one who was out after curfew and got arrested for that. He was out at midnight, an hour after curfew. We went in and saw that the courts wanted him to go see a probation officer, and we went in there and they asked for all these records, medical releases and everything to have ready at this appointment. So, of course, I showed up there with nothing, and the lady at the desk gave me quite a stare. Anyhow, we let's see. The way we left it was that the district attorney is now going to be contacting us with a court date. So basically, the only thing that the probation officer could do was to accept a guilty plea and put him into the system, which we weren't going to go for that. So I will give the listeners an update when I hear more, which may be a month or so. So that's where we stand right now.
Okay. Do you have Mike Parsons' telephone number?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I want to give him a jingle. I missed that whole class before I called in, so I listen to it on the archives normally. So
okay. Mike Parsons was just on just before you, and I'm sure he'd be glad to chat with you. He's very interested in protecting the village from these criminals who want to incarcerate us and build dossiers on us. So, please give Mike Parsons a call.
I'll do that. And the other thing I wanted to report was last month we had a pedestrian bridge down in Otay that you can travel to the Tijuana Bridge from the American side, so you don't need to actually drive into Mexico anymore to get on an airplane. And we, it's brand new, and we did that. And there's no TSA. It's back old school in that airport, and it was quite refreshing actually. So I do recommend it if you've got someone that can drop you off down there, and you need to fly from Southern California to any place. It's a really great option that you may want to keep an eye on.
Great, Laura. Thank you so much for calling in, and it's always good to hear your voice. That's Laura from California. Her son was arrested.
Hi, Richard.
Hi there.
Dr. Allen. We miss you. We miss you.
USA Prepares is a big family. We've got students, we've got instructors, and got a pretty big class. And thanks so much for being part of it. Dr. Richard Allen Miller, thank you for being with us today. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to...
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor-endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.